December 19, 2017, 900 MPT by Graeme McMillan Warning This story contains spoilers for Star Wars The Last Jedi. One of the most dramatic visuals in Star Wars The Last Jedi comes midway through. Luke and the Force ghost of Yoda sit in front of the burning tree that holds the remaining Jedi texts. It's an eye-catching image watching the end of the Jedi Order as one of the final pieces of the Sacred Order burns in front of characters who have devoted their lives to upholding that order. There's only one problem. Canonically, that's not actually the Last Jedi tree. To quote Yoda from The Empire Strikes Back, thanks to a 2015 comic book prequel to Star Wars The Force Awakens, there is another. And it was planted by people connected to the new trilogy's core cast. The fourth and final issue of Marvel's Journey to Star Wars The Force Awakens Shattered Empire series, set 3 months after the events of Return of the Jedi, sees Luke Skywalker and rebel pilot Shara Bay set out into the heart of Imperial-controlled space on a particular mission. In the lab at the heart of the base is something the Emperor stole a long time ago, Luke helpfully explains. We're taking it back. That something turns out to be two things: trees that are, as the ever-ready to assist Luke reveals, all that remain of the tree that grew at the heart of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. The Force is with them. Fans of the animated Star Wars The Clone Wars series had seen this tree before. It had been introduced in the show's 5th year as the Grey Tree, and showed up in a handful of episodes throughout the remainder of the show. Canonically, the tree was removed as what had been the Jedi Temple on the planet became the Imperial Palace and home to the Emperor himself. This means that, by this point in Star Wars mythology, there were at least 2, if not 3, Force trees. The third being the one on Ahch-To, which is presumably not one of the 2 trees from Coruscant, given both its size, although who knows how quickly space trees grow, and the fact that the Ahch-To temple predates the Coruscant temple. Both of the Coruscant trees are rescued in the comic story, of course. Luke says that one is spoken for, obviously, but the other is given to Shara Bay and her husband, Kes Dameron, who, yes, have a son called Poe, who'll one day grow up to be Oscar Isaac, who is seen planting the tree on the new home on Yavin 4 on the final page of the comic. It's less clear where Luke's tree went, although common sense would suggest his Jedi training academy that was destroyed by Ben Solo is seen in flashback during The Last Jedi. Nonetheless, unless Yavin 4 has been destroyed or off-screen between the events of the Shattered Empire comic book and The Last Jedi, there is at least one Force-sensitive tree out there waiting to be discovered by the new Last Jedi, Rey, and she even knows someone who grew up with it in the backyard. Foreshadowing, or just a strange coincidence, it's unclear, but it's worth remembering that Shattered Empire is a canonical story, as per the revised approach to Star Wars spin-offs post-Disney purchase. Hey JJ, if you want to build a whole new Jedi Order by the end of Episode 9, the groundwork has already been laid. Or at least the landscaping. Star Wars The Last Jedi